Hello, these are Mummy's Little Monsters broadcasting from somewhere between heaven and hell. And today we are going to tell you about hard times and nursery rhymes. Of course, after reviewing the newest album by Californian country punk legend Social Distortion, we are now ranking the full discography. Alex is with me.
Hi.
Hello. And yeah, let's just dive in, right?
Yeah, let's do
Or
it.
do Okay, just a short summary of Social Distortion's history. This is, of course, the band of singer and guitarist Mike Ness, who founded the band. He was born in 1962 in Massachusetts, but his parents very early relocated to California, to Orange County, the city of Fullerton, where he grew up. His parents divorced. He got kicked out by his stepfather, and so very early he was by himself. Always drawn to outlaws like Dillinger and gangster movies, and of course the rock and roll outlaws, Rolling Stones, but also the all the rockabilly musicians and the country musicians like Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, and so forth. Um, he got into the punk scene in the 70s in Orange County, and yeah, founded his band Social Distortion in the late 70s. Um, they released their debut album in '83. After that, Mike Ness had some troubles with the law and with drugs, so he went into rehabilitation. It took them 5 years to record their sophomore album, which came out in '88, called Prison Bound. In 1990, they managed to secure a major label deal with Epic, a three-album deal, and yeah, recorded the self-titled album in 1990, and then somewhere between Heaven and Hell in '92, and White Heat, White Light, White Trash. I just can't memorize the title in '96, but we will get all into that. Spotty history with long breaks in between. We will get into that. Um, let's just start with our ranking. We've got 8 albums to rank.
Right.
And Alex, why don't you give me your number 8?
Okay, I'll get right in with my number eight. So, my number eight is Born to Kill, their newest album. We talked a lot about this in our review not so long ago. It is a very, very good album, but the problem is all of their albums are very good. So, and I had to place it somewhere. Yeah, I mean, we really watch our review if you want to know more about this album. I love the title track. I love Tonight, and a few more tracks. I don't have as much history with this album. That's basically the reason why I placed it last. It's a very good album. And I think Social Distortion songs are a little bit like old friends. So I just have a longer history with other albums, with the other songs. That's why I placed it last, but it certainly is not a bad album.
I'm a little bit shocked, I have to admit now. Okay. Okay. So my number 8 is their debut album, Mummy's Little Monster from 1983. It's a very short and snappy album. It's less than 28 minutes long. Um, Actually, I listened to it for the very first time this exercise. I knew the title track, Mummy's Little Monster. Um, Other than that, I didn't know any of the songs, and I expected this to be more punk rock, but I think the sound was already there. Um, so you have this rock and roll feel to it. You have Mike Ness' cool voice, but you hear that these guys are still very young and in the beginning of their careers. So I think Mike Ness's singing isn't quite there. Um, he has the voice, but he doesn't really know how to use it like he later does. Um, and the songs aren't that memorable. It's a good album. I like it. It's not bad, but there wasn't really that much sticking to me. And like I said, it sounds a bit to me. It sounds a bit wonky. It's just yeah. Obviously, it's not a mature album. So I like the opener, The Creeps. I like the title track, Mommy's Little Monster. I think that's the best one on that record. I liked Anti Fashion. Um, the songs are all okay, but yeah, to me, it was very clear from the start that this would be my number eight.
Okay. So my number seven is Hard Times and Nursery Rhymes from 2011, recorded at Ocean Studios in Burbank, California. Yeah, this was actually the first Social Distortion top 10 album ever. So they really got successful with this one. And yeah, session drummer Josh Fries plays drums on this.
It
So
was
this
very
is
it was very successful in Germany as well.
as well,
I
right?
just learned.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, this is kind of a mellower album for them. So it is less punky than what came before. More rootsy guitar parts, and also the songs, they sound very much like a band like the Black Crowes on some songs, of course, with a very different singer. The single choice was a bit odd in my opinion. I don't think usually they have very good single choices, but I don't think Machine Gun Blues is really a highlight. It's an okay song to me. The highlights, in my opinion, are the song California. It's very cool with female backing vocals. I don't think they have that on any other records. That's why I really, really like this album. I mean, I like all of the albums. So they have a Hank Williams cover on it, which is great, Alone and Forsaken. And and also Can't Break It With You, also with great female backing vocals. Yeah. So it's a very, very traditional record and it totally fits to Mike Ness and fits to this band. But if they lose their punkiness, it feels more like a Mike Ness solo album to me, because this is exactly what he does on his solo albums with but a little bit more rocking and a bit grander sound maybe. So yeah, I also like his solo stuff. I like the album "Cheating at Solitaire." If we would add it to this ranking, it would be very high for me. So, but yeah, but I mean, as a songwriter, he had gone beyond punk and matured very much to a very good singer-songwriter. And I think it's great that he's doing stuff like this and following the footsteps of his heroes like Hank Williams and the guys you mentioned, Johnny Cash. And I think it's great that we have an album like this. But still, if you listen to a Social Distortion album, you want it to be at least a little bit punky, and this is missing here. So, but yeah, still a great record, and this is my number 7.
Okay. Not as shocked as before.
Okay.
Okay, but my number 7 is Prison Bound. Some of this criticism for their debut album still applies here. I think this is a step up. It's way better. Still, Mike Ness isn't there as a singer yet. And to me, a couple of songs are a bit. The first one was very short. This one is 40 minutes long, and I think a couple of songs could have been trimmed. Starts off nice with a straight punk rock song, "It's the Law." Then we have a 4.5 minute instrumental called "Indulgence," which is nice, but an instrumental that early on the record, I don't know. Like an Outlaw is a highlight for me, but to me, it also doesn't feel like a song that should be 5.5 minutes long. Cover version of the Rolling Stones, Backstreet Girl, I like that one. Prison Bound, the title track, is a highlight and has this nice storytelling of Mike Ness telling the story of a man going to prison, reminiscing about his past and what lies ahead of him. So I like that one, and 5.5 minutes here it fits. Um, Second side, B side is also nice. What I like about the album, we have a couple of tracks with acoustic guitar in there, so that adds a little bit of flair and depth to the songs. Um, Otherwise, I think the B side isn't that memorable. It's not bad. I like the songs, but there isn't really a standout track for me like it was Mummy's Little Monster on the first album. So yeah, way better than their debut, but still not quite there where I want them to be. So this is my number 7.
Okay. So my number 6 is Prison Bound, as not as well, but one place higher. So lower. So from 1988. So yeah, I agree about a lot of what you said. So this came out 5 years after Mummy's Little Monster, so they had quite a lot of time to come up with something new and something different. And it took so long because frontman Mike Ness struggled with heroin addiction, went to rehab and to jail. So, and yeah, it was a huge stylistic shift from Mummy's Little Monster to this one, from straight hardcore punk into this. I think they really kind of found their style here, though that later became known as kind of cowpunk. And yeah, the Johnny Cash influences come in. He's even referenced in the lyrics from in Prison Bound. Johnny says, "I'll walk the line." So yeah, and yeah, I agree with what you said. So it's for a lot of reasons you could say it's not very strong, but I kind of like this period of the band. I mean, they recorded also a lot of other stuff that during this time that you could hear on the compilation Mainliner, which I also like very much, but of course we don't include it here. So I like this period very much because they are still very punky and their sound is not as polished as later. But of course, as a songwriter, Mike Ness would grow and be much better than he is. So the major big song here is Prison Bound, which is a great song, and no official singles were released. What was kind of strange, but Prison Bound still got heavy radio play on LA radio stations and helped the band land their major label deal with Epic Records. And yeah, they cover the Rolling Stones on this one with Backstreet Girl. Yeah, and it's kind of a bridge album between the raw early punk years and their more polished sound that they would develop later. But they still, I think, all the ideas for their kind of blend of country, punk, roots rock, they are here on this one. So, and what is also new here, the lyrics are really kind of autobiographical here very often, and you could hear that this would become the strengths of Mike Ness and the band, that he had first-hand experience with arrest and jail and incarceration, and which gave the songs this authenticity. And I think you can hear and feel it in his performance, on all the following records too. So he experienced this. This is really, he really means it. And yeah. I like this album a lot. So, and I placed it on 6.
Okay. I have to say that I didn't dislike any of those albums. So like all their records, but some more than others.
Yes.
Okay, so my number six, and you had it before, is Hard Times and Nursery Rhymes from 2011, and I basically agree with everything you said. In our album review of Born to Kill, we said that this album sounds a bit tired. I don't think that was the right description. It doesn't sound tired, but it's like you said, mellow. I would say it's a little bit too polished. It's it's very poppy, you could say. So it's an album with huge mainstream appeal. It worked out, sold very well, even in Germany. Um, Still, Mike Ness is a great songwriter, great lyricist, as you mentioned. So the songs are still good. It's just what you said. It misses this badassery. I like Social Distortion when they're badass, and yeah, here it's all a bit more mellow, but great songs like the opening instrumental Road Zombie. I also like California. Wonderful song, has kind of an R&B feel to it. Um, Give Me the Sweet and Lowdown is nice. Diamond in the Rough is nice. Bakersfield, which is a bit more, yeah, I could say it's a ballad. I like that one. Far Side of Nowhere. There's not a bad song on this album, but it misses like this yeah, this thing I want from Social Distortion. So yeah, it's my number six.
Okay. So, my number five is Mummy's Little Monster from 1983, their debut. Yeah, it was kind of one of the first classic California punk albums. Yeah, it mixes punk. They already had some rockabilly influences here, but it was basically punk, hardcore punk. What we have here, similar to other California punk bands like the Germs or the Adolescents. But I would argue that they have better albums in this style than this one. But still, this is a fast, angry punk rock album with a lot of attitude. And Another State of Mind became kind of an anthem then. And yeah, they have at least three more classic songs from here that I like a lot, and they still play live, called Telling Them, The Creeps, and the title track, Mommy's Little Monster. Um, yeah, I think the songwriting here, even that early, is really good. And yeah, and after recording this, they went on their first North American tour with Youth Brigade. And I think one guy from Youth Brigade even joins them later on. I can't remember his name right now. And yeah, and the album inspired later punk bands like Rancid or The Offspring. They are also big fans of this early period. So yeah, and they had this greaser look back then even, and back then it wasn't very popular. They were really the only band doing this, so that was kind of cool. So they invented kind of a punk style. So you yeah, that was also pretty cool. Yeah, and yeah, I still find it a bit unfair to place this classic on five because of his kind of historical relevance. But yeah, this is all about personal level of enjoyment. So I think I have had to place it a bit lower because what comes now is so much better and has more very good songs. So, and I'm 100% sure if I listened to this earlier, it would have been much higher. But I first got to know other albums that I love more. So,
What are you apologizing for? You have it on five. I had it on eight. So
yeah, right.
so my number five is their self-titled album Social Distortion from 1990. And when I got into this exercise, I listened to all their albums in one sitting in a row chronologically. So I started with Mommy's Little Monster. It was okay, Prison Bound, okay, a little bit better, still not what I wanted to hear. And then first song, So Far Away on Social Distortion, I was like, yes. Because I think from the very first second, it's also in the production, something is different. They have the production behind them, so the first snare hit really kicks you in the ass. The guitar set in, and Mike Ness's voice is there and his singing is there. He's way better, sounds more mature, and with all this wisdom in his voice, and the badassery and the hard times he went through. So it's all there, and the songs are there as well. So I knew right from the start, okay, this is where the Social Distortion starts, that I want to hear. And yeah, and the songs are great as well. First two, So Far Away, Let It Be Me, both great. Story of My Life, classic in their catalog. Love that one. Great storytelling by Mike Ness. I love Sick Boys. Uh, Very cool. He describes, the the greasers you just mentioned, their outfits and how they're behaving and trying to be cool, and very nice. Ring of Fire, Johnny Cash cover song. You said in the review, uh, this should be boring, or kind of a sacrilege to cover this song, but they make it their own. It's just great, and I think they do it with most of their cover songs. So that's something they're really good at. Ball and Chain, another classic, also wonderful. Could Have Been Me. This is great front to back, and this is where, like I said before, their first two albums are good, and you can hear that it's Social Distortion. But here, for me, it starts to fall into place. And so this is my number 5, which also means it's going to be even better from this point on.
Wow. Okay, so my number 4 is Sex, Love, and Rock and Roll from 2004. This is a very cool album. When I re-listened to this, I realized again how good this is. It was even better than I remembered it. So it has a very cool muscular production. Yeah, and it took a long time until they had recorded it, because Mike Ness did a solo album and a cover album after that, so a long gap between the albums again. So the band's first studio album in 8 years, and it was the first album after the death of Dennis Dennell, who also founded the band together with Mike Ness. He played also guitar. And Johnny Wickersham replaced him on this, and also on the following albums. Yeah, and Mike Ness said about this, this album reflected his sober life. So I don't think he had been sober on the albums before this. And the highlights for me are actually, first, the 3 singles were all great. Reach for the Sky is a killer opener. I love Highway 101, great melody, great singing, and also Don't Take Me for Granted. All 3 singles are really, really great. So this album is very good. Now, and other highlights are Nickels and Dimes, which criticizes the music industry. Also cool lyrics. Yeah, and the song Footprints on My Ceiling, I also liked. Which was inspired by Mike Ness's insomnia he had back then. So yeah, and this is what is a bit different about this album. This album is full of hope and less dark than its predecessor, White Light, White Heat, White Trash. So the lyrics are yeah, very hopeful and don't have the dark Mike Ness style that is common on most of the other albums. So I have a quote from him that what he said after recording this album. You can't forever tell yourself and others that life's all bad. Apart from other things, punk rock also is about fun and loud guitars. So that was kind of his attitude when recording this. And this is indeed a fun album, and yeah, my number 4.
Nice. We're getting closer in the upper half, I see.
Yes.
My number 4 is the newest album, Born to Kill. And I admit that maybe this is too high, but I was so happy to have it and to listen to it because Social Distortion were once very close to my heart. I loved them very much. Then they went away for a long time. I remember that their last album, Hard Times and Nursery Rhymes, when it came out, didn't do that much for me as I had hoped it would. So when this came out and it turned out to be this good, I was really happy, and I felt kind of like not like a child, because I wasn't a child when I listened to Social Distortion, but the joy, it was like childlike joy I felt when listening to it, because it was just what I wanted from them. They play the sound that I love, hooky, kick-ass, badass, rock and roll sound, with great lyrics, great hook lines, goes right in your ear. Don't have to work your way through it. It just embraces you with first listen, right? So Born to Kill, great opener. No Way Out, The Way Things Were, one of their great nostalgic, melancholy tracks. Tonight, wonderful. Yeah, basically it's a pop song. Yeah, it's just a great hook line. Great cover again, Wicked Game. We talked about that one. Walk Away and Never Going Back again are two of their more badass rock songs. Don't Keep Me Hanging On and Over You. It's just one good track after the other. Even the songs that I didn't mention yet, who are not that great, are good. So yeah, I'm just happy that they are back, and Mike Ness is 64, so still kicking it like 30 years ago with this album, which is a great thing in itself. So yeah, maybe time will tell that it's a bit lower, but for now it's my number 4.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, my numbers 1, 2, 3 are really very close. Yeah, I want to say this before going into the top 3, because it was really I had to stop thinking about this and just make my placements so to get it done. So my number 3 is White Light, White Heat, White Trash from 1996. It is really a classic. This was the first Social Distortion album that came out when I knew about the band and I liked them. So I mean, I got to know them when it came out, and I've heard the kick-ass single "Don't Drag Me Down." I was hooked, and I instantly became a fan. So yeah, it's yeah. This record has a darker and heavier sound than the earlier albums. It's probably their best production. That's why I wanted to place it higher first. And I love this album. Yeah, of course it would deserve to be on number 1. But I think it doesn't have as much great Social Distortion songs as my number 1 and my number 2. And yeah, all of them are great. Yeah, and on this one they have a faster and more aggressive punk style, and very, yeah, a bit more emotional lyrics than usual. Yeah, Magnus also called this one of the band's most personal records, and the lyrics, they focus heavily on loss, regret, and survival. And yeah, it was kind of a comeback for them because the music world had changed after Somewhere Between Heaven and Hell, because grunge came and all this alternative boom, and a band like Social Distortion didn't really fit. It was kind of unsure if they fit into this very new musical rock landscape. So, but they found a way to fit in, and they found a way to fit in Germany, especially because this was really this album was quite big in Germany, and also the German music press liked it a lot, and also the fans. Yeah, and yeah, I love "Don't Drag Me Down." I was wrong. When the angels sing is another highlight. Very very cool, and yeah, yeah, and the title of course references "White Light, White Heat" from the Velvet Underground. And yeah, and also have some trivia here. Chuck Biscuits is credited as the drummer, and he also became the drummer, but he actually doesn't play on the album. A session drummer Dean Castronovo stepped in and played. So also pretty interesting. But of course, Chuck Biscuits played afterwards on the tour, and he also plays on their Live at the Roxy album. So yeah, it's a great album, and it's also a great album experience front to back, and it sounds amazing, and it's my number 3.
Nice. Yeah, funny. Dean Castronovo. That's a long way gone for him from Neil Schon and Bad English to Mike Ness and Social Distortion. But yeah, if you have the chops, you can do it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so my number 3 is Sex, Love, and Rock and Roll. And yeah, for me, the first 3 albums are very, very close. The first 2 even more, but this one is not far behind. Loved it when it came out back then, and you already mentioned most of the songs I love. Reach for the Sky. I also thought about the lyrics. Reach for the sky, 'cause tomorrow may never come. Um, as true as this line is, it could also ring very cheesy and fake and Disney-esque, I would say.
Yes.
But Mike Ness pulls this off because you know that he's been through hard times and a lot of shit, and he knows what he's talking about. So it becomes more weight when someone like he does it, right, and says something like that. So, and you feel that, and I get goosebumps when I listen to this song. Highway 101, great. Don't Take Me for Granted. Yeah, all the songs you mentioned are great. They are more like that. It's just a beautiful album, not that much off their 2 very best, which I am going to talk about soon. And yeah, kind of sad that it took them so long after this one, because it was 7 years until Hard Times and Nursery Rhymes. So 8 years before this came out, and then another 7. And they should have found the time to get 1 or 2 in between those, because I guess they would have knocked out another one like that. So that was my number 3.
Okay. So my number 2 is Somewhere Between Heaven and Hell from 1992. So yeah, this album pushed the band further into roots rock and country punk. So musically, they did not really change from the predecessor, Social Distortion, like on all records before. They had found their formula and stuck with it, and yeah, in a way, they got even better on some songs. So Mike Ness wrote many lyrics here about addiction and hard living. Yeah, and I love this album. I know all the songs by heart. It's a great collection, great production, banger after banger. I love Cold Feelings, Born to Lose, Bye Bye Baby, When She Begins. They show the softer melodic side of the band. Yes, you could consider it the classic Social Distortion lineup at its peak here. Maybe a bit more commercial than before in a way. But I think this is great. The songs are great. Yeah, but my number two, as I said, and three are really, really close. I love all those albums, but yeah, my number one, after thinking about it, is just a little bit better, but this is really, really great. And yeah, all those songs are really kick-ass songs. Sometimes I wish those songs had the production from White Light, White Heat, White Trash. Maybe it would be even cooler. But I mean, the best versions of most of the songs here are anyway on Live Up at the Roxy, in my opinion. So great album, my number two.
So my number two is also somewhere between heaven and hell. This was the first album I heard by them when it came out. A friend of mine bought it had it on vinyl. I love the cover artwork. Mike Ness looks so cool on that one. Love the colors, the 50s rock and roll layout. And yeah, I don't know, this record, when I listen to it, it brings me so much joy. I really can't describe it. It's I want to sing and dance, and it's really a party record to me, in the best sense of the word. And so many great songs: Cold Feelings, Bad Luck, Making Believe. The first three,
Oh, yes.
all timers. Born to Lose and Bye Bye Baby, they are good, but step down. But When She Begins, I love that one. When She Begins to Rock, Honey, I Begin to Roll. It's just amazing, amazing song. 99 to Life and King of Fools. Sometimes I Do. I also love that one. Um, and I love the production. And it's funny because I see it the other way around. I wish that White Light, White Heat, White Trash would sound little bit more like this one. And I
Mhm.
really thought just until before I talked about this one right now, I thought about switching it because my heart belongs to this one, really. But my number one just has more, to me, more great songs than this. So because here are This Time Darling, doesn't do that much for me, and like I said, Born to Lose and Bye Bye Baby, they are good, but
I love them.
yeah, they're great, yeah, but we will get to my number one. I love this record. It's a 10 for me. It's just great. Such a big connection to it. So that kind of hurt me, but yeah, it's my number one of the heart, basically.
Ah, nice. Okay, so my number one is Social Distortion from 1990. Very, very close to number two and three. So as I said, it's again full of drop dead classics, front to back. Yeah, their first major label release and breakthrough record went gold in the US. Produced by Dave Jordan, who also produced Jane's Addiction and Alice in Chains. So not really a punk producer. Yeah, and this record helped bring punk into mainstream rock radio. I mean, back then this wasn't the usual case. So and it featured the skeleton with cigarette logo that became widely recognized after this. Yeah, and yeah, I think on this one are all their most, I mean, they have other iconic songs, but all their most iconic and best songs are on here. I love all of them, and it's a very consistent album. So Far Away, Let It Be Me, Story of My Life, Ring of Fire, Ball and Chain. Those songs are so essential. Social Distortion. It Could Have Been Me, She's a Knockout, and you mentioned it, I love it too, Sick Boys. Yeah, I remember in the live at the Roxy inlay liner notes, they are apologizing that they forgot to play Sick Boy on that evening. So it was really sad. So that song is really missing there because they play all or most of their best songs they play. But Sick Boys, yeah, that's also a standout. And yeah, I really love all the songs here, and I think the songs alone because of the songs alone, this deserves to be a number one. And yeah, I think these are the best songs. A little bit better than Somewhere Between Heaven and Hell for me. Yeah, that's my number one. Love it.
Okay. So not hard to guess what's my number one. It's I just can't remember the title. White Light, White Heat, White Trash. Always get it mixed up. Uh, Today I read someone calling it white three noun. It's kind of an internet abbreviation to not have to spell out the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it was somewhere between heaven and hell when that came out. I know, like I said, my friend bought it because we had seen videos on MTV, but they weren't a big thing in Germany, but that changed with that album because suddenly all the guys I knew that were listening to rock music and alternative got a lot of people into that sound. Knew that album and loved it. And yeah, I think it's their most accomplished album. I don't. I think yeah, it has a more dirty sound. It's not that clean as the ones before, but I like that actually because it's more in line with the 50s thing, not this
Mhm.
kind of overpowered uh, distorted sound. So, but it doesn't do anything or it doesn't drag the album down. Starts off with a great song, Dear Lover, just wonderful, amazing song, Don't Drag Me Down. Untitled, also amazing. I Was Wrong. I mean, these four songs alone, it's mind blowing to open an album like this with four songs like that. Each one a masterpiece, great, just instantly hooky and also, but still deep and meaningful. Don't Drag Me Down. Still makes me want to lose it when I listen to it. So great. Through These Eyes, Down on the World again, badass rocker. And then When the Angels Sing, you already mentioned it. It's just beautiful, and to me, it's amazing how they can be these dirty, gritty punk rockers knocking out these three chord bangers, and then they play a song like When the Angels Sing, and it's the most natural thing for them. There's no break whatsoever. It just sounds completely natural and true, and it's amazing. Crown of Thorns, another song I really like. Also like their cover song on that one, Under My Thumb. I think it's better than the Stones version. It's a hidden track on here. So
Yes, I agree. Never thought about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. That's my number one. Great album. Like I said, very, very close to my number two. Um, in the end, I had to choose this one because I think it's their best. And yeah, nothing to add. That's it.
Wow, cool. Very cool.
We have not one place in common this time, I think.
No, no. Yeah,
No,
that's
number
really.
two. Number two was the same.
Yeah, number two are the
Yeah,
same, right? Yeah. But yeah, it turned out to be very different. Really cool. Nice.
yeah.
But yeah, it's a band
Sweet.
with a very strong discography, so I suspected that it might happen a little bit like this. So
Yeah, let's just hope that they manage another album, maybe in 2 or 3 years, and not in eight, because Mike Ness needs a little bit of energy for his music, I think.
yeah.
Okay, so do you have anything to add?
Mm, no, I think we've covered it. Yeah.
Okay, so that was our ranking of Orange County's finest, Social Distortion. Hope you liked it. And if you don't, please don't watch our next video, because then we will talk about our favorite songs by
Yeah.
Social Distortion. But if you did, give us your comments, give us your thumbs up, and of course, leave a subscription, because that's the currency we live for, and not nickels and dimes. See you next time.
Right.
Bye bye.
Bye.